Hey guys, I have been in sales for over 10 years, okay? So I'm going to do a really great, amazing video right now on making your sales process simple, okay? So, just tagged all of you guys just in case you're, working on Saturday like I am, which I already made a sell. So, this is how I do it. This is how I do every single sale, every single call, and the basis is the same. The backbone of every single call is the exact same, okay? So we're going to dive into this. My sales script for powerful sales covers all of this, but really, if you break it down to the bare minimum, it's introduction, kind of get them loose and comfortable and talking and yada-da. 2, needs audit. Ask them questions. So see where they are, see where they're at, see where their business is, what are their pains, what are their problems. Ask them questions to understand them. Yay! 3, where do they want to go? What's the destination? Not the plane, the destination. What are their goals? What's the big picture? People do not buy the plane. When do you go look up a plane when you want to go to Hawaii? Nope. You look up Hawaii, ding, 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 weight loss, ding, 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 making money, ding, 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 better sex and being happier. Yay! Value, okay? People buy the destination. So you understand where do they want to go? What are their goals? What it is? How soon? What is standing in the way of achieving those goals? I said that funny. What is standing in the way of achieving those goals? You have to understand this, okay? And then next, okay, so you understand those. Oh, my thing went away. And then how do you solve their problem that you already identified? How is it? Can you? Do you know that you can solve their problem? If you don't know that you can solve their problem and how soon you can solve their problem and with what and how to solve their problem, then do not pitch anything and go back to number 2. And understand them, their pains and problems, la-di-da, okay? So never pitch until you know what you're solving and how you're gonna do it, okay? So then number 5 is pitching. Like, how do you solve what you already identified their problem, and how do you solve it, reintroduce, bring up what they said into the solution, how do you solve it, and then pitch your offer is the last thing. Pitch the offer. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and dive into this a little more detail. I'm going to go over my sales script and some of the pieces that are really powerful. But I just wanted to know that is the basis. Every single time you get on a call, you build rapport, needs audit. I like to say, why now? Where's the destination? What are the goals? How do you solve the pain or problem? And what are you offering? What is the service or product you're offering? And then lastly, most of sales are in objection handling. 75% of sales are made in overcoming objections. So I'm letting you guys know I have been in sales for over 10 years. I've been on a sales floor. I've been in top 15% and I was working part-time where everybody else was working full-time. And I was top 15% and I was like 1 out of 10 ladies tops out of like over 100 people. So I understand sales, and don't worry, it takes practice. You have to practice this over and over and over to get good at it. Luckily, I've had years and years of practice, so me jumping into a business, selling is so much easier for me, but still, my first call was so uncomfortable. So know this, asking these uncomfortable questions like, how soon do you want to make money? What's your pain? Understanding their why now, and understanding that they're not going to tell you their real why and their real pains and problems always. without building that rapport at the beginning, without them getting to know you. And so all pieces of this powerful sales script is super powerful. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into the sales script for powerful sales. So number one, I really like to research my clients. I get to know like where they're at, if they're even a good fit. I like to kind of see get to know how could I even help them anyways. So I look at their marketing. Since I'm a marketing and business coach, I like to see, I could help them on this. I could help them on that. So if they're in weight loss, you can go check on them. People post things about what they're eating, what they're doing. You can see if they're healthy, if they're posting things about healthy food, if they're posting things about eating coffee or donuts every day. You can kind of get to know your client from their social media. Use this as leverage. There's so many times that I've heard of past clients, or I've gotten on calls where they didn't even look at my stuff and I'm like, I don't even know if you could actually help me. You should know how you can help them before you jump on a call if you really want to be that next level coach. And if you have time, which if you're in the beginning of your business, you do. Pre-qualifying these leads is super important. So, first, building rapport. You really want to get to know them. You want to make it casual. You want to let them loosen up, because when people jump on calls, you know what? People don't like being sold to. They're going to get a little uncomfortable. They're probably like, this is a push. Let them get a little less uncomfortable. And one of the questions is first just hey, how are you doing? How's your day going? Have some good energy. Don't just be like, hey, how are you doing? What's up? Yeah. So what are your pains? So what are you working on? No one's gonna want to buy from you if you're doing that, okay? So also let them know if you only had a certain amount of time for the call, then let them know, hey, I only have this amount of time. So in order for me to make the best use of my time, I'm gonna have to ask you some questions and kind of, reframe the call so they know. And then a really, 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 really great thing is asking them permission to ask these deep questions. So if you are, about weight loss, about love, about business, whatever it is, you're gonna be asking these personal questions. So a good icebreaker, well, let's say second icebreaker. I would say the first icebreaker is, hey, I know sales calls are uncomfortable, get the toad out of the way, whatever that phrase is. I know sales calls can be uncomfortable, but I just want to let you know, I just really want to help you and understand where you're at. Just take this as I'm going to understand you, and then if you hire me, great. If not, no problem. That way you get the discomfort out of the way. They're like, oh, whew, I'm not going to be sold to, those people over at the car sales when they come up to you and they're like, are you going to buy a car? You're like, I don't know. So you kind of ease that. And then secondly, let them know hey, I'm going to be asking you a lot of questions that are probably none of my business. Is that okay with you? Be quiet. And then they already answered, so that kind of eases them up, okay? So next, it's the rapport. It's the needs audit. Understand them. Understand what's going on in their life. Understand what's going on in their finances. Get to know them. Oh, they're working full-time. Oh, they're not working full-time. And they are trying to invest. Can they actually invest money and not be working and be successful? You want to understand them to a level that when you sell to them, that you can help them get to where they want to be. If you get on a call with somebody, they're not making money, they don't have a job, you're pitching $10,000, $5,000, and you know for a fact that they're gonna be stressed and worried and scared. That's the type of client that if you sell to and you push on your buy now and then they buy, you probably won't have the greatest long-term relationship with this client. They probably will do a few weeks and die out of scarcity, fear, all of the above. So you really want to understand your client. Okay? So understand their pains. Get to the detail of what their pains are. This is sometimes uncomfortable, and a lot of people sometimes don't want to tell you. So get to know them and they're like, oh, like everything's fine. Okay, well, they're on the call with you. So this is your time to be a coach. Be like, okay, well, what made you want to take this call? Yeah, understand them. Ask questions that are like that. Asking these coaching questions in the call is what shows that you're a leader and that you are the coach. You are the leader. Even just asking these questions frames the call, shows that you're a leader, teaches them how to be better. So, pretty sure this was all in my selling alignment, but just in case, you want to kind of cover some of the objections, like overcoming objections while you're talking. This is next level sales, but once you get this down, you really want to like, oh, you think this person might talk about money as an objection? Well, maybe share a story about when you had to overcome a money objection or when you invested during the call that you overcame and then you had a great result. So that way they're like, oh, like I share stories on sales calls. But usually if I have a really good pre-qualified sales call, I will allow 30 minutes to an hour because I already looked them up. They're already my target audience. They're worth me putting in an hour of understanding them because if they don't buy now, they're gonna buy later. My sales conversion ratio is probably like 50 to 75% because if they don't buy now, they buy later. A lot of my calls that I got on a year ago are buying now. So pretty much everybody I've got on the phone with has bought from me. I have no idea, but I don't have a lot of people that didn't buy anything. And the ones that did were early on and maybe we weren't a good fit. Maybe I pushed the urgency too much. I know in the past I pushed my one size fits all strategy on that person and they didn't buy that way. So I lost them as a client versus if I understand my client, understand my customer, and I figure out what they need and I solve their problem, bam, they bought something from me. I'd rather have $100 than no dollars. Okay? So understand their situation, their struggle. Are they supported on whatever journey? Do they have support? Does their wife, husband support them? These are really good questions to know because this will help you in overcoming objections. If you're asking, oh, does your husband or spouse support you on this journey? Great. They said yes or they said no. Now you know. So if they come back at the end and they're like, oh, I gotta ask my husband or something, you're like, I thought and this kind of sounds a little bit salesy, but I thought you said that your husband really supports you on this. And then you can understand them a little more. Or, oh, my husband like really is weird about sales and blah, blah, blah. Now you can maybe help them be like, hey, I know you said that your husband like isn't sure on investing. Let me know if you share your business with your husband and he has some questions, reach out to me. I can get on the call with both of you guys. Or ask me questions maybe he needs answers to. Like open that up. This is where you overcome objections. Okay, so dive in deep. Get to know what they've tried. You should really be asking a ton of questions. You really want to get to know your client. You want to be able to, just like anything, be able to help them right then. Like you know that you could help them and you can give them the next steps. You can visualize the first call and what you'd be talking about because you understand them so well. So this is a key point. Why now, you guys? I know I cover this and I'm going to cover it again because this is huge. Why now? Okay? So you understand their struggle. You understand where they want to go. Now you're like, why is it now? And a simple answer is like, oh, I need the money. No, that's not the why. It's they've tried anything and now it's their breaking point and it's go big or go home. They're sick or they need to provide for their family and they either need to get a job which feels like failure or win. Or it's something like they're not having sex in their relationship anymore. They're on a verge of divorce. Like these are the why nows. And I'm letting you know, they always say the smoke screen at first. And then you have to do the most uncomfortable thing and you're like, okay, So what happens if that doesn't change? Why is it, I know this is a little weird, but why now and why not in 3 months? These are uncomfortable. This is what gets the sales. Doing this, asking these questions is what gets the sales. It's the why that makes you cry. That's my thing. So if it's not touching, it's not emotional, it's not their real why. Okay? So you understand the big picture. You're like painting a picture of their vision, of their future. Oh, they want to have courses. They want to make money. They want to pay off their debt. They want to go on vacation. They want to hang out with their siblings, or they want to like travel, and this is their big vision. Now you sell them on the destination. You have to cover this. You paint the picture of what happens if they work with you. Okay, I found your pains. Now, you're struggling with this. I want to help you with this so you can go to the beach. You're struggling with this. What you said, this is how I help your struggle, and this is what we want to do. And this is where what we're going to do to get to where you want to go. So I'm going to help you with your marketing because you're struggling on it, and your content. I'm going to help you with that. So that way you're making money in your business while you're working so you can go on more vacations. Okay? The why, and then the goal. And paying off debt, I'm sorry, is not just a good one. Like, that's not something that's going to get them motivated to continue to go, go, go. It's like the emotional thing. It's I got to pay off my debt, but I also, like, in the future, like, you want a business. You want to make an impact. You want to be a public speaker. You know this is your purpose. This, like, you have to do this now. It's make it or break it, those things. Okay? Now, let's see. Now you know their why. Now you're like, okay, this is my service that solves your problem. And a good question to ask is, how interested are you in this program on a scale of 1 to 10? Great. Be silent. Be silent and let them answer. And if they say 6, they're not very interested. You didn't do that great of a job, or they're just not interested. So ask them. This is uncomfortable. Okay, that's a pretty low number. What do you not really feel? What do you need to know? What questions do you have? Because a 6 is low. They're not going to buy. Okay? And then if they say like a 9, you can ask something, or an 8. You could be like, okay, what would you need to know to make that a 10? These are uncomfortable questions. And then they're like, oh, it's just the money. Okay, great. Let's put money aside. And based on just the course, even if it's not now, how interested are you in it? If they're like, oh, 10, bam, there you go. Now you know that they're interested. If they're like, oh, like still, 7, 8, because of this, maybe they can identify what they need to know. So maybe it's like, oh, I don't know if this will help me right now. Or, I don't know if I have enough time right now. Or I don't know if this is the right fit. Then you're like, oh, okay, why isn't this the right fit? What is it missing? I'm just doing some market research. Great. Bam. Learn from all your calls. Understand them. Okay, and then ask them if they're ready to hear the investment. This is powerful. You want to get yeses before you pitch the investment. So throughout the call, you should also bring up questions like, oh yeah, how soon do you want to do this? And how would that feel if you started making money now? And like include yeses in your script. Like they got to be yeses. Like, oh, you really want to make money in your business then, right? Yes. Dude, I just realized that I've been missing this. I haven't been doing these pre-yeses as much on the call. So these are important. These pre-yeses get people to say yes over and over. This is just sells to the core. I can't even believe I forgot about that. Next. Okay, so you ask, are you ready to hear the investment? They say yes, great. Now you say the investment. I'm offering this, and it's for this, blah, blah, blah. Be silent. Don't ramble. Don't show that you're uncomfortable. Be silent. Why? Because you want to hear if they say anything. You want it to register. You're like, and based on what you said, I think this offer would work for you. it's $10,000, $5,000, $2,000. And I'd love to work with you. Okay, now you wait. See what they say. I've had lots of people, I just got off a call today where they were like, oh, I was thinking you were really high level. Great. I'm positioning myself as really high level. Okay, fabulous. They're like, okay, but right now I'm not able to afford that investment. Okay, great. Now you know that's so out of their league. Now you can maybe give them different opportunities. Or if they're like, damn, that's high. Be like, okay, well, this is where you want to go. This is what I present. You want to make $5,000, $10,000. So what's $10,000 if you want to make 6 figures in your business? That's a good thing to say if it's like that high. Or, okay, great. You said, okay, $500 is a lot. Okay, I understand that. Like, understand them. Like, oh yeah, $500 is a lot. That's a lot of money. But based on what you said of your pains, is that you really want to lose weight now because you don't feel sexy, you don't feel happy or appreciated, and you're on the verge of divorce. So what is $500 if you're able to lose weight and restore your relationship or whatever that is? And then let them talk. Okay? So now you identify these things. Like, open up the conversation. You're a coach. You're a coach. Learn them. This is where you make sales. I don't think any of my sales were just like, yep, I'm in. Let me think. I don't know. Very rarely. It's usually like, some people, they want to be sold. Some people will tell you a no because they want you to like help them through it. I know lots of my sales were. Okay, and then also in this, it's like, great, you understand their pains. You're like, this is why I'm the best person to help you. This is why I am here for you. This is why my program will help you. I am the best person. What happens if you don't do this? Now, they're like, oh, it's just really not a priority. Great. You know what? Now you know that maybe you could sell to them in the future and follow up, okay? Like, put them in a bucket. Is this a person that is just a hell no, they don't vibe with you? They're not even your target audience? Let them go. Is this a bucket like, hey, it's a not now. It's not a priority. They don't have the time. But now you know to put them in the bucket of following up with them. Oh, okay. It's not now, right? Fine. That's great. Don't burn the sell and pitch them and say, ugh. Like, that's someone you want to follow up with in the future. Or there's a bucket of like, I really want this. Like, you can tell they want this. And they're just getting stuck in the money part. And you're like, if you really think that it's worth it and they can make the money back or they can get this goal, this is where you give them opportunities. This is where you help coach them out of their money mindset. This is where you, hey, have you tried PayPal? Have you invested in yourself? Okay, say you spend $5,000, but then now you have marketing set up for a year. Or you spend $5,000, but now you have a business framework for the rest of your business career. Or this is where, you know what, you're working with me for $500 and now you love yourself and you lost weight. Or you just love yourself and you're happier and you found love in your heart. And like, share the results. Like, this is where you get the sale, okay? And I just want you guys to know, I have had so many years of sales experience. That is why I got success so early on in my business. First of all, I learned from people who had already been there, done that were coaches. I took courses, I applied them, and I stuck to it. And I practiced. And every time I got on the call, I did the uncomfortable thing. Sales is uncomfortable. But it gets easier and easier, and it's so powerful. When you take these people through transformations, whoa, you guys, it's powerful. It's transformational. I just got off a call with somebody that I didn't even know that would be a sell, but I did the process. I got on the call and I was like, hey, I don't even care. Like, maybe I'll help him in the future. Maybe he's not my target audience. I put it to the side. Even though I'm in a point where I'm like, I need to make this money. Like, I gotta pay my bills. I didn't make it about me. I made it about him. And then I was like, okay, like, what do I do? Like, okay, really understand this guy. Really, really understand his problems, understand his pains and his goals. Guess what? At the beginning of the call, I did not think he was gonna be a client. But I did the process, and I'm like, wow. I pitched, I got him over the objections, I did this process, this exact process, and he's gonna buy in the morning. And I didn't sell my one-size-fits-all strategy, 10K, expensive, like all-out one-on-one. No, I knew that he wasn't at that point where, like, he's not at a point that to buy $10,000. His business is smaller. I got to know he's making, I understood he was making about $2,500 a month. Great. So now I know, like, him paying me $10,000 is kind of crazy. Plus his business isn't making money. So me personally, I don't want to sell someone a 10K package when they might, like, get so crazy out of fear and, like, they might fail. Like, and I don't see them making thousands of dollars right away. My 10K clients that buy from me, they're go for the gold. I know they're going to make that money back. I know I can help them. I feel confident in them. And then my other people, I'm like, okay, like, let's see what would work for you. And so I sold them this course. And then, or like, maybe it's a smaller offer. Maybe it's like one-off sessions or a 3-month package that maybe you're not delivering as much stuff or using less time, or you're doing group calls. Like, figure out, let's make money. Make money now. Make money from everybody. Okay? So instead of being like this frigid, like, I only sell my one package and you only get certain amount of calls and certain amount of sales, 2 out of 10 calls or whatever, like, my 10K package, I don't sell as often. But I have all these other things while I grow my business. And then maybe in the future, I'll have my courses and my online things and a bunch of courses going. And then, you know what? I only do one-on-one that's 10K or 20K or whatever. Fine. That's because I already have the supply and demand. Like, I already have a ton of demand, so I can be that way. But right now I'm growing. I want to work with more people. I want to help them. So I'd rather sell different ways. So we're going to talk about that more. I have a post I just created. Share it in the group. Go ahead and practice this. Give me some hearts. Practice this week. Get on calls. Jump on. Practice this sales script. Get comfortable with it. Go get on calls with your friends. I did that. Go get on calls with other coaches in your industry. Be like, hey, would you want to do this with me? Let's, like, practice. Get on calls with your mom, your dad, your brother, your husband. Practice. Practice pitching your price. Say it to the mirror, okay? So there we go. And I hope you guys have a great Saturday and make that money. Stop making it so crazy. Okay, bye.